That was my phone. I'm sorry. You guys can talk now.
Well, I was letting you. You were in the middle of talking. Welcome to episode 155.
How do you guys not know the numbers by now?
We're in the hundreds?
We're in the hundreds.
Is it 155?
155.
155 Crippled System.
Not divisible by 12.
The podcast.
Oh, my brother has to do a catchphrase for our podcast, which was Crippled System, you don't want it. Because my mom was asking him, she's like, what's some good podcasts you listen to? And what's that one Nathan's on? And he said, Crippled System, you don't want it. It's this, but again, you don't want it.
Fair.
Yeah, so there you go. Crippled System, you don't want it.
Your mom can listen to it.
But she doesn't want to.
No. My mom watched us for a while. That was really creepy.
My mom listened to one or two episodes, and then that was.
I'm not really this racist.
Well, yeah.
There are just some things your mother shouldn't listen to, and Crippled System is one of them.
Well, we are far and away the worst War Machine Hordes podcast. What was it, M. Beaker? I can't remember that guy was quoted.
Announcement, Xerxes 2, who I declared weeks ago the greatest warlock in the history of the world, just won the Irish Masters.
Yeah, he beat Keith Christensen's
destroyed
Asphyxious 2 list.
So I called it over a couple months ago. So if my Xerxes 2 is almost painted. So if everyone starts playing Xerxes 2, I'm going to stab every motherfucker.
Did he destroy him? Like, how was the game? Do you know?
No, he survived. I know Keith had a feat. And he survived the feat because he's Xerxes 2. He doesn't give a fuck about your feat.
How, like, I guess I don't know Xerxes 2 lists enough to know how that doesn't lose to Gaspy 2.
I'll tell you later when I figure it out.
Okay.
The list that Scorn Player
it should do a ton of damage. I mean, you can put out so much damage so fast that you're basically forcing him to feed on you, and you can get Xerxes. You know, he's got the base 19, and you can do a variety of things to kind of get stuff around him. I mean, his defense isn't that vulnerable.
I guess.
Yeah, the lists look like they were a little atypical, but not like they're definitely not the cookie cutter Xerxes and Mordecai lists.
Xerxes 2 is like Scar. You can make anything you want with it, and it's good. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I was practicing, I played 10 different lists with Xerxes 2. It doesn't matter. His entire stick is he gets Signs of Portents for one turn, and it makes him the greatest thing in the world. He gets cast mobility and Signs of Portents once, and he wins. That's all Score needed.
Xerxes 2, you don't want it.
Oh, you want it.
God. This gummy thing is awesome, but it is scary how much self-healing it does.
But that's because it's so
good.
Potent. Like, it's full of flavor and sugar. Just be careful. If you eat too much of that, you might get diabetes.
Yeah. Let's just stuff together.
Yeah, eating that's worth your foot, though. I mean, come on, small price to pay.
You can make a foot out of that.
A self-healing.
Then I would eat it.
Yeah, it would be able to just regrow itself.
I wonder if they make other flavors.
Probably do.
We'll have to find a random drunk. Oh, there goes a cavity.
I actually did lose half a tooth to this exact gummy bunny.
No, I bit the side of my mouth.
Oh, poor Andy.
That's the worst.
No, it's more red.
The worst thing about biting, like I'll bite my tongue frequently. Since my tongue is split in two, one side gets extremely swollen, and it is so difficult for me to conduct the rest of my day if I have to talk to anyone.
I think that the gummy bunny made you bite your cheek so that it could absorb itself into there and assimilate you.
Gets into the bloodstream quicker.
Yeah, we could maybe wake up tomorrow and see a gummy Andy.
Anybody want to touch?
No.
Hey, ladies, who wants some gummy Andy?
Hey, and I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian.
I'm Brian.
I'm Nathan.
What? That's not true.
That's not true at all.
I was trying to make it the Brian-isode.
No, that's not going to happen.
It'll happen. It turns out we have... Hey, Brian London. That's his name. His name's Brian. Mm-hmm. Hi, Brian. Yeah. So we do have 4 Brians.
Yeah.
And we have at least 4 women. So we can do those 2 special podcasts.
Bring out your
It's
Brians
not the
and your
podcast you're looking for, but it's the podcast you deserve.
Yeah.
That's a reference.
So I guess for the other announcements
that are pertinent... Andy now? What the fuck?
You're Gummy Andy. He's
If Travis has to be
Gummy
tacos,
Hands,
you have to be Gummy Andy. It's an equalizer of disappointment.
No, I have this theme song stuck in my head.
Gummy Andy, bouncing here and there and every Andy.
Do we have any actual
I
announcements?
tried to write intros, but then I was singing about Andy, so I just wrote Indy. So our first topic was Indy.
Sweet.
They're making a 6th or a 5th Indiana Jones movie.
Yes.
We have to make this topic accurate. So we're now obligated to talk about
They
Indy.
are making a new film, and everyone that I know has been not excited.
Hopefully, it'll be less natives being stuccoed into walls.
It's just Indy, like in a retirement home. It's really Bubba Hotep 2, but they decided to make it with. But they,
I would watch the fuck out of Bubba Hotep 2 with Indiana Jones.
yeah, I would too. I'm just saying that's where it would fucking go to the next level and be amazing. Who would be his partner though? Would we just?
It's JFK again.
No. Well, if you can get Sean Connery out of retirement, you can have the original Bond.
Yeah.
Step on my beer cap.
I totally stepped on your beer.
No, you could just have Indy and Dad in the retirement home.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot that he actually was a Sean. Oops. Oops. And 75% of Indiana Jones movies are good.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
My first wife hated Temple of Doom.
Why?
I don't know. I think
There's
she
bugs in there. It's just squirmy.
I just you know what it was? She didn't like the chick. She was annoying as hell.
She was annoying as hell.
But I look at her like Peggy Hill, where she's supposed to be annoying, so the character's good.
God, if Peggy Hill existed, I would be in jail.
Yes, because she would not exist anymore.
She would not exist anymore. Oh my God, I don't know what it is. That show, you love it, I hate it.
I have a question. Nathan, how do you like PayPal?
Oh my fucking God! I was so angry about that. I was too angry to even go into detail on my Facebook about why I was so angry. So, okay, so I have the PayPal account for the America's Team Championship because I wanted it to have its own PayPal account so that people wouldn't pay them, and then I had that money. I wanted it to be
accessible by the committee.
Accessible by committee, number one, and not accidentally accessible by me, because I write a check for my rent, and then I buy car payment, and then my bills, and then I buy groceries, and I look down and I just spent all the Kickstarter money. Like, I didn't want that to happen.
That didn't happen.
It did not happen.
Good.
It did not happen. But it's more annoying for me to make sure, like every day I balance my checkbook and I'm like, oh, but wait, this $7,615.85 isn't mine.
You balance your checkbook?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
All right.
Which is why this is a danger. Because I just swipe my debit card until it tells me it's declined.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, I'm out of money. I'll just stop eating now until my next paycheck. Like, that's that's the current version of balancing your checkbook, is just spend all your money until there's none left.
Just want to clarify that.
That's how I do it.
That's how you work.
That's how everyone at this table does it.
Yeah,
Right?
and it's like I haven't checked my bank account in 2 months, but I haven't been declined, so everything's probably okay.
I still get McDonald's food.
Right.
Yay!
And that's the only word. It's like, no, sir, your card's declined. Okay, bye. And then you just leave. And then you see, how much you need to not buy until your next paycheck. Whatever. So, but I didn't want to accidentally embezzle money.
Sure.
So they have their own account. And so Kickstarter needed an actual bank account for the Kickstarter money to go into. You can't just say, go to this PayPal. Okay.
Sure, that makes sense.
So I had my bank account hooked up to the PayPal, because PayPal also needs a bank account. So the PayPal account was hooked up to my bank account, and the Kickstarter was hooked up to my bank account. So the Kickstarter finalizes, they put the money in my bank account, and then that day I go to transfer it into the PayPal account.
Sure.
And it gets declined. They say, you may not add funds at this time. I'm like, that's weird. And so then I was at home, and then I try again on my phone, just like, a couple hours later, I try on my phone just in the bathroom or whatever, and it doesn't work. And then I go to work, and I try on the computer at work, and it doesn't work. And so I call PayPal's customer service, and she's like, how can I help you? I'm like, I'm trying to put money in, and I can't get it to go in. And she's like, oh, why do you want to put money in? And so my thought is, go fuck yourself. Why do you care why I'm putting money in? It doesn't matter why, make it work. But I tell her, well, I have this Kickstarter money, and I want to put it into here because I want to keep it separate from my personal money, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, okay, so let me put you on hold and check. And she puts me on hold, and she comes back, and she's like, oh, nope, we can't do it. And I'm like, why not? And she's like, oh, because your IP address isn't secure. And I'm like, well, number one, I've tried 3 different computers, so that's bullshit. Number 2, fuck you. Like she's like, oh, well, someone could hack and take your money. I'm like, good, it's my money. You don't get to tell me not to put my money into my PayPal account. If I want to throw it all in there and it all gets hacked and lost, that's my $8,000 to lose. It's not yours, so fuck you. Also, the IP address thing is BS. She's like, oh, okay, well, forget the IP address thing. I can't do it because you already have $600 in there, and so you can't add more money because there's still money in there. like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's a common bank thing. Once you have money in a bank account, you can't put more money in an account.
Yeah, and she's
there's
like,
a
don't
cap.
worry, because you can still spend the money and it'll automatically come out of your bank account. And I'm like, yeah, I know that I could. I know that nothing's stopping me from spending the money from PayPal that then gets pulled, but I just want to fucking put the money in there. And so I had her transfer me to her supervisor who's saying like the same thing. He's like, oh, yeah, no, we can't put more money in because you already have money there. And then he's like, oh, well, what it actually is that because this new PayPal account, the ATC PayPal account, is less than 120 days old, even though the bank account is verified, since the PayPal account is new, you can only transfer up to $1,000 per week to the PayPal account from your bank account. I'm like, okay, one, why didn't she just say that if that was the actual reason? Two, hold on a minute. I attempt to transfer $1,000. You cannot add funds at this time. And I'm like, well, it's not letting me do $1,000. It's like, well, it won't let you do the 1,000 because you already tried to do 7,000. I'm like, what the what? Are you shitting me? He's like, oh, you could try the 1,000 again at a later date. I'm like, how about I try shoving my foot so far up your ass at this exact date that you puke out my Reeboks? I was so fucking angry. And I'm swearing at him. He's like, sir, I'm sure we can communicate better. I'm like, I'm communicating quite well because you know exactly how I feel and what I'm thinking, and that's what communication is all about. He's like, well, you know, in the terms and agreements you signed when you signed up for PayPal, I'm like, fuck you. There's no way the terms and agreements that I signed said, by the way, we won't let you give us money. He's like, oh, no, we're actually being very magnanimous, you see, because we make money off of you putting money into the PayPal account, and us being benevolent enough to not allow you to put your money at risk by putting it into the PayPal account, even though if it was there, we'd get more money off of the fees, really means that we're saints. Oh, my God. If he was in the room with me, I would have ripped out his eyes.
You should be like, sir, can I have your address? No reason.
Yeah, just funny trivia. What's your address? I'm so fucking angry. Like, it's my money. Like, let me put my money in my account.
I could see the reasoning behind of the limiting the transfers over a brand new account because it's, all it takes is for some person, some shady person to open up a PayPal account, get it verified with somebody's account, and then just start transferring.
But it's verified, right? Like, it's not like I could open a new PayPal account, hook it to your bank account, and then transfer all the money into my PayPal account. If I already had access to your bank account, I could just take the money. Like,
when you verified, they put like a couple pennies.
Yeah,
they did a couple things.
It's verified. I checked like 3 times during the phone call to make sure that I had verified the account because I had done so 2 months ago specifically to make this not happen.
Correct.
Hey, fun.
Yeah.
Nothing I can say.
Hey, they were there for you. They're helping you, Nathan.
So, no resolution.
Oh, no resolution whatsoever.
Awesome.
So my resolution is just going to be to spend all the Kickstarter money as quickly as possible so that it's gone before I can accidentally spend it on like hookers and
Correct.
blow.
That explains the new car.
Yeah.
Kaboom. Suck it, people.
Nathan will personally drive you to the ATC.
I have no choice left but to embezzle.
You tried not to. PayPal forced your hand to embezzlement.
The new sci-fi novel. I have no PayPal and I must embezzle. I'm so angry.
Getting stuck in the pop filter.
Like, I'm not unreasonable, right? Like, it's my fucking money. Like,
it makes, for the most part, everything you said makes sense.
And so I told the guy, I'm like, you're not my babysitter, you're not my parents, it's my money. Let me put my money into my PayPal account.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're worried about the way the money gets. Like, I don't know if you can do anything illegal from PayPal with your own money.
Nothing that you couldn't do from your bank account.
Yeah, it's not like putting it in a weird burner account or something like that.
Right. Because their very point goes against them. Like, right now, I could use my PayPal debit card, which I only got so that I could make sure I only spent money from my PayPal and not from my personal account. I could go spend. I only have $600 in the PayPal because 6 teams have so far put deposits down. The rest of the Kickstarter money is my personal thing. I could go buy a car with my PayPal debit card, and it would take the $600 PayPal, and then it would take the rest of it out of my personal account. It's already all the same money. Like, and they're like, yeah, so you could already still spend it. It's like, I know that. That's not my point.
You just want to keep it separate.
Yeah.
And that's
You gotta keep them separated.
Hey. Don't pay no mind.
I don't like the whole you tried to do it with 7,000.
Right.
Like, you should at least be able to put the amount that you're allotted in there. That was I remember I had the same problem with a phone company where I would attempt to pay my bill online, something would happen and there'd be a disconnect so that the money came out of my account but never made it to them, and they wouldn't let me pay them again.
Yeah.
There's another garbage thing.
And the super annoying thing to me was when I tried to transfer the funds on PayPal's website, it says you may not add funds at this time. And that's it. It didn't say you have a limit of $1,000 a week. It didn't say your IP address isn't secure. It didn't say your account is too new. It just says, can't do it, go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
Well, PayPal is so big. With Apple Pay and Samsung Pay coming out and these other things coming into play, I think that'll kind of lessen PayPal's hold over the internet payments. Because, I mean, I know more people who hate PayPal, but it's just the thing you do. And there's some other people who say, well, just use Google Pay. I'm like, well, Google can go fuck itself before I sign up for Google Pay.
Sure.
But there's more things. As more companies get doing this, I think companies like PayPal, who have kind of the edge right now, are going to have to be more reasonable in some other stuff. But for so long, they can just like make up whatever they want for terms, and you suck at their PayPal. It's
Right.
which is dumb.
And then I was trying to think if I could just pay, because my bank account is also linked to my personal PayPal account.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out if I could, from my personal PayPal account, make a payment to the championship PayPal account of the entire Kickstarter value.
You could send it as a gift.
And send it as a gift so that they don't take a percentage, and that would get it in there anyway. Like,
But doesn't gift, and I might just be
Or you said it
behind.
personally.
If you do a gift though, it makes it so that you pay the amount, right? The
No,
one of the ways you can pay it, they don't take a cut at all.
Okay, I knew there's. I just thought for some reason there was a way to make it that the person you send the money to pays it, or you pay
I think
it
there is
instead.
an option to make that because I think there is a third way of doing it. But I've only ever done it where I made a payment and they pay it, or I did a gift.
Yeah.
I think there is a third method. But you know what? That's a PayPal. Sorry, I figured I had to get that out there because I know Nathan had a thing last week. And
So is your bank in Panama, Nathan?
Yeah. Excuse you mispronounced Panama.
That is my drug lord theme song.
Theme thong.
Theme song.
I don't want to know about
I
your
don't know why I
theme
have a
thong.
Let them see that thong.
yay, Tong.
Well, I guess for events though, to steer it back on track is the very next one coming up in Wisconsin is the Oshkosh 50-point two list optional, I guess, like a regular steamroller. But the only stipulation is both your lists have to be tier 4 of a theme list.
Theme 4 tier list.
Yep, tier 4.
Tier 4 theme list. That's this coming Saturday,
This
the
Saturday.
16th.
Four-
Forced,
16th.
forced tier 4.
You, me, Jordan are a car.
We are?
Yes, if you want that.
Okay.
You're driving.
What? No.
It's just funny to me because the last Oshkosh event we went to, both of my lists were tier
you
4.
could also go in that car.
Except I worked this Saturday.
you worked last Saturday.
No, I was at
He's
Adepticon
got-
last Saturday.
He's got inventory
Past
this
Saturday.
weekend.
Oh, like yesterday. Yes, so I was supposed to have yesterday. I have this weekend off.
Yeah.
But I had to work yesterday because I had Sunday off because I took Adepticon weekend off. So then I ended up working this past Saturday, which should have been my weekend off, and so now I am working this Saturday, which is supposed to be my weekend to work. Working weekends blows ass, and the thing is, no matter what's supposed to be my weekend to work, I will always work on every tournament anyone ever schedules ever without fail.
Find a Saturday with some goddamn Star Wars Rebellion, you son of a bitch! Anyway, that's all I had.
After that though is Baraboo is doing a tournament.
Bowl on
23rd.
through, Booker. Bowl on through.
I'm just trying to get them all out there. So that one I believe Nathan should be available for.
Wait, next Saturday, the 23rd?
The 23rd.
What is it?
It's just a 50-point steamroller.
I should be able to do that.
I made it
playing
specifically
Rebellion
so
that
you
day.
could come to it.
High five. I should be able to go to that.
And then right after that, it seems like Lacrosse is doing a 35-point steamroller on Sunday, which I may go to.
Spoiler, no one cares about lacrosse.
Or 35
their
points.
Chinese food is amazing, and that's why you go to
The
Lacrosse.
Chinese buffet on the west side of Madison, where the Pedro's used to be, is super legit.
This is like
They have really good
Lacrosse-
borscht.
I think Lacrosse is has the second highest concentration of Hmong American or Hmong Chinese people in the United States.
Mungs are what? Huh?
It's among Americans, I think, really is what you would say.
Yeah.
Among the
Hmong
living?
Hmong
What?
are from
They're
China.
among the living.
They're among, yeah. No, I just political correctness aside, there's a lot of Chinese people there, and they make some really good food. In order to survive, there are 3 Chinese places, maybe 4 Chinese places, and to survive in that kind of social situation or diversity situation is really tough. You have to be amazing for it to work. So their Chinese food is legit.
Good to know.
Yep.
I'd be interested in going if I had to ride.
Well, you have two. You can go Oshkosh and you can do.
I'm not going to drive to both.
Well, Barry Black drives the Baraboo.
Yeah, Baraboo's the 23rd. The lacrosse thing is the 24th. Then
24th.
Oh, on Sunday?
yeah,
No,
that's
I
what he
can't
said
do
the
that.
next day.
I thought you meant the next
No,
one.
they're a lot of their like playership comes from like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon players on Saturdays. So I know the wargaming kind of slips over to Sunday, which really sucks. But I would like to go there if that is actually happening. I've asked like twice, is this an actual thing that's happening? And nobody's said yes or no.
I would be very apprehensive at that point.
If you're going to the Theme Force Tier 4 event on Saturday in Oshkosh, make sure one of your lists can deal with Doom Reavers, or don't be surprised when you lose terribly against
Don't
it.
come at all if one of your lists can't deal with Doom Reavers.
That
Just
was
don't
like,
bother.
John was talking to me on Friday, and he's like, Jordan might not play Doom Reavers, and I just started laughing. I didn't even let him finish his sentence.
Yeah, I mean, that's his list.
When some of the new models come out, he does have new theme forces he's going to try, but it requires models that aren't yet released.
It requires,
for Twitter.
15 Ragers?
Yeah.
Or
He
two
he
Victors.
proxied that and he lost terribly, so I don't think he's going to do it anymore.
He did it. Against me when he lost, he did a hybrid of it. He didn't like the hybrid.
I thought he played it pure against like Rick or somebody and lost terribly.
He was going to modify it just slightly, but stay with it. He still has hope for it. But
So
anyway,
I think that's the run of all the events that are happening that are coming up soon in Wisconsin.
boom.
Cool.
Zappity Grumble.
That topic we didn't talk about very much last week dominated our thread.
Yeah, I love how we the thread's so useless sometimes. we just put our toe in a topic and moved on, and that's all people talk about on the thread.
To be fair, when I brought it up when I posted the thread, I was like, "Oh, by the way, we totally avoided talking about this topic." I knew that bringing it up would make them talk about it in the thread.
You just sort of
I got to chum the water a little bit.
Yeah.
It didn't explode like I expected it to.
It's pretty good.
As
Well,
compared
because
to what
everyone
I've seen on
agrees
the
women
other-
should shut up and not talk, and then it was a pretty simple.
The only people who don't agree are the women, but they shouldn't be telling us that.
Yeah, it's
like we've
like-
already ascertained that.
Get me a pie, bitch, and then you move on with your day.
I was gonna bring this up in the thread there, and then I didn't just because I'm lazy and didn't want to type. But people were talking about bullying in the nerd community and something, and I was thinking about that guy who took his picture in front of all the butt cracks.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about that guy is so he did it, and he put the pictures online, and we all laughed at him. Because that's funny, look at all those butt cracks. We've all been there. I assure I'm sick of seeing butt cracks. And then he got banned by Wizards of the Coast for a couple years from gathering tournaments. And we're all like, oh, that's bullshit, it was just a joke. And then somebody mentioned it, and then I thought about it, like, it was a really fucking shitty thing to do. Like, that's really bullying. That's really, like, if those were women, if he had taken those pictures up women's skirts and pictures of their panties or cleavage or something like that, it would be sleazy and gross.
Or with his face in front of cleavage, I would probably see that.
But even that, like, so that those fat guys with their asses hanging out of their pants that he's taking the pictures with, they didn't tell him to put a picture of their butt on the internet.
True.
Like, isn't that, like, a seriously bullying thing for him to have done?
Yeah,
Well, it's not even
it's
even if you transcend bullying, the topic that we like throwing around, it is if you take women and men as being equal in all body types and all fashions, it's sexual harassment.
Right? It was, and that's the thing, and I guess I skipped that when I went to the panty thing, but he's sexually harassing these men.
Yeah, imagine
You know?
if he was taking pictures of cleavage. It's the same look, basically.
Correct.
He'd get arrested. He wouldn't get banned from DCI and get slapped on the wrist with that. There would be police there, and they'd be arresting him, and women would be suing him.
Right.
And that's perfectly acceptable. So,
Or even if it's the exact same thing. Like, none of those butt cracks were a woman's ass hanging out of her, her pants with a thong or anything like that. You know, if he's posing behind supermodels and saying, quick, take a picture of me squatting and make sure you get her ass crack in the camera, and now I'm going to go ahead and put it up on the internet, he's a sleazebag shithead.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. I think it's the treatment that he got was very light compared to what could have happened.
I think the nerd community has a weird stance on bullying because there's a lot of suppressed rage because 90% of the nerd community received bullying. Because
We'll say 70.
Well, there's also,
Okay, we'll go 70. But, like, it's becoming more mainstream now with the movies and stuff. But for those of us, in the late 30s or 40s or whatever, like, if you're playing D&D and you go to school talking about your half-elf whatever, you're just going to get a wedgie and a swirly. And I think, and you're never going to get laid either.
Yeah.
So because of those two things, we've gotten the rise of, number one, we lash back and we bully because fuck you jocks, you don't know what it's like to be a nerd. You're not allowed to go see the Avengers. And then we also, because they're never getting laid, you get the MRA fedora wearing nice guy assholes.
Or take over Closer.
Yeah, fuck
from
you,
Nine
Lust.
Inch Nails.
Yeah.
another interesting aspect of bullying in the nerd community and how things can get misconstrued into different ways and still mean the same thing at the end of the day is when people try to breed bad players or bad player experiences out of their meta. So like if I have a guy who comes to the store and is constantly raffle stomping people and gloating about it, the community will band together and try to find ways to play that guy out of their meta in some way, shape, or form. And isn't that another form of like bullying if you were to break it down? Like there's a difference, but there's a fine line between the betterment of your community and bullying.
Well,
That is
some of
like,
that
if you
becomes-
just don't play him and you just shun him, I think that's less of a thing.
Also, a lot of it's because some people have no ability. Some people just can't confront someone with problems. They have no ability to like say, "Hey, guy, these habits you have are really off-putting. It's kind of rubbing everyone the wrong way. Can we talk about it?" No one has that ability to do that. They're like ah.
Yeah, like
That's a big, huge issue.
I still feel kind of bad about, this is almost 2 years ago now, I think, that this guy came on a couple Wednesdays, and he looked like a guy who drives trucks, and then at every truck stop, he rapes somebody to death. Like, this guy was just greasy, whatever. Like, just picture that in your head, and you are accurately picturing what this guy looked like. And so nobody would play a game with him. Like, he was new, he barely got any pickup games. Everybody would be like, oh, wait, that guy came in. Quick, play a game with me, so I don't have to play a game with that guy. But he never was an asshole. Like, nobody even interacted with him enough to find out his personality. He just was that very awkward, weirdness to him.
We just assumed there was a dead body.
We just assumed there was a dead body in his trunk, so nobody would interact with him. And so he came like 2, 3, 4 weeks. Nobody would play with him, and then he just stopped showing up. And I still feel really bad about that. Like, for all I know, that's a really nice guy who just, doesn't have good hygiene or good personal skills.
Or he's in jail right now.
Or he's in jail. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
But I feel bad about never playing a couple games and trying to give him a chance.
I think that's kind of part of the gaming culture in a sense, where we play against people that we trust. It's when somebody new comes in, we don't interact with them until they make the first move. It seems like all the newcomers, if they want to get into a gaming group, they always have to be the one that has to be the outgoing person to actually try to interact. And if it's not an outgoing person, that person's basically just never going to interact.
Yeah, you've got to fight your way. A good example is there's a guy who's been coming around the store in Baraboo, and he literally sat down for 2 hours and watched 2 people play and didn't say a fucking word. Yeah. Like, it took me having to go over there and ask him what his name was. The people he was watching didn't even know his name or interact with him. It was some intense stuff to see how the nerd community or our gaming community had interacted with someone who was outside of that circle.
Which makes it complicated. Like for us, we play War Machine and there's D&D and stuff. And sometimes you just think, oh, the guy sitting next to me is probably just waiting for D&D because he's not interacting with me. So maybe you don't even give it a second thought because you don't know why. Sometimes you don't know why. There's a guy a couple weeks ago that was there and he was out there for War Machine, but no one knew for quite a while. They just assumed he was a D&D person.
Yeah.
Or the D&D players come up to you and maybe want to talk to you a little bit.
They go
and
fucking hell.
Yeah, you can say, fuck you, D&D player. You are the reason why I hate Wednesday nights right now, so leave me alone.
And that's what I do. I have a sign. I just put a sign that says, fuck you, D&D players. Go to your fucking basement like you're supposed to and play your fucking game.
Then they started bringing out the partition.
Oh, yeah, thank God for that. I was peeing on them a lot, so they got sick of that. So they put up partitions.
I liked how they went Trump on us, where they decide they're going to put up a
build a
wall.
wall.
Hey,
between it.
that's a great wall.
Fine, it's better because they used to try to spread out and take more tables. It's like,
Correct.
no, you guys get 2 tables, shut up and stay there.
Hey, I love when they try to go to the third table, that's my favorite time of the night. It's like,
Or when two assholes start to play Guild Ball on a table in the middle of the room.
If we were proxying a War Machine game, you just weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
Brian, they're playing Guild Ball. Like, who's playing what over there? And
We knew you'd take care of it.
Fancy enough.
Tell Brian.
There was still more room for everyone because we were at that table. Because I would have just said, okay, Michael, let's pack it up and play War Machine. Boom, we're taking up another 6 inches on each side, and now I'm butt bumping with Donald. But
That's his favorite part of the night. Yeah.
What?
It's a 3x3 table.
The
so
thing
we
with
took up a
gamers,
space.
too, is everyone, like, if someone's a big sports fanatic, they're basically just a geek for sports, but you don't really call them that. But if, it's like just different terminologies.
Right.
And, like, even as, like, I see, like, people who are geeks, sometimes they don't like sports, sometimes they do. But, it's more than not, sometimes you kind of get the, the thing where they're not sports fans or whatever. So then you hear a bunch of, like, people at the game, like, saying, oh, those guys are doing the sports. Or, like, on Facebook.
Sports ball.
It's sports ball day.
Sports ball.
And it's like, now you're just being the biggest assholes they were. I mean, yes.
Kick the touchdown through the field net.
Yeah.
Sports ball.
Mean, yes, growing up, those sports guys did probably pick the fuck out of you. But you know what? They're passionate about their thing. You're passionate about your thing. Just be happy. They be happy. Let's all fucking be happy, and leave me alone.
Well, and that's what it did to my point. What I was trying to get at was geeks were outsiders. You know, we were always the outside. Like the mainstream people did this, and then the losers who nobody liked did that, and we were over there. And now that's not the case. Like now everybody can play. Everybody plays video games. Everybody goes and sees comic book movies. I mean, that shit's mainstream now. And I think that people who loved it before it was mainstream now have this backlash where they've been outsiders for so long that they feel this is their territory. And they feel like the people... They don't understand that they're being absorbed into the mainstream. They think that the mainstream's trying to take their stuff away from them, and so they're defending it. It's like, you're not allowed to like Captain Planet because you don't know anything about this, that. It's like, dude, shut up.
And I think it's the...
You don't have heart.
And it's definitely
You're not a real nerd. You can't be a real nerd.
Yeah.
You have a vagina, and if you were a real nerd, you would have had sex with me in high school. Like, what? Shut up.
I think it's also the older geeks. The younger they are, because it's
The less
more,
they care.
The
They're
less
used
they
to
care
it.
because they're used to it. But it's the older people, and of course, which doesn't help at all, because now you have the older fat weirdo guy who refuses to conform to anything as being even double creepier about it. They're doubling down on their thing, so it makes it look even worse.
Yeah, and you've also got the perfect battleground for it too, because the internet's another thing like video games that's become more like ubiquitous throughout our society.
Yeah.
And that's where nerds were breeding at the beginning of social networking. And now that the rest of the world's coming to it, it's kind of like it's our realm. So we get to say what we want to, who we want to. The anonymity's there, so we can be the biggest bullies and jerks ever. Especially when you're communicating with someone about a sexual harassment charge, or not charge really, but accusation, right?
Yeah.
And just being a complete asshole because you send that thing off, it's out and done, and you don't have to touch it again.
It's about ethics in board gaming. Well, have you read any of those articles about the rise of the gender split in video gaming advertisement?
No, I haven't.
That's a really interesting, because we know about the collapse of video gaming with like E.T. and all that stuff. And prior to that collapse, if you look at all of the print advertisement and all the television advertisement, it is pretty much equal, men and women. There's mom, dad, sister, and brother. The four of them are playing video games. Like, it's 100% gender neutral. And even when it's not family, even if it's just young kids, it's equal split. It's 100% gender neutral. Just people and kids like video games. And after the collapse, when they tried to regain it, and there's different theories about why this happened, one of which was that they started being sold in toy stores instead of electronic stores, and toy stores were split. Here's girls' toys and boy toys and stuff like this. And so, for whatever reason, they had to pick. Are video games a girl toy or a boy toy? And they decided they are a boy toy. And from that point on, they advertised with boys playing games, and they put tits in the commercials, and they did this and that, and they just made them, Gears of War, gung-ho, manliness, and women are objects, and Rescue the Princess, and all the commercials just had guys and kids and boys playing them, and girls never played them. Girls were never the heroes, or if they were just triangular boob Tomb Raider so that guys could stare at her boobs. It's just... girls didn't play video games according to the advertisers, and then it fed on itself because then it became true because girls didn't want to play these games, and so it just became this men's game just arbitrarily after the collapse because they just decided, hey, let's just advertise to boys. And I just think, like, how different would it be now if for the last 30 years it had been gender neutral?
Well, and you also touching on that too is the demonization of a woman's opinion about a game, right?
Yeah.
Like one of the cartoons that I saw most recently was a guy and a lady are sitting on a couch, and she has a drink, and you realize later in the frame that he's roofied the drink, and she passes out, and instead of doing unspeakable things to her, he's playing a video game. Like, that's the thing that he can't do while she's awake, right?
Sure, because women don't like video
Exactly,
games and
they
they're
just hate
ball-busting
'em.
monsters,
Yep.
and yeah. Yeah.
And I think Katie saw that stereotype, and actually she embraces that stereotype because of,
Yeah.
That's why we haven't seen Jeremy. He's just been roofied.
He's been logged into the division.
He was like, we were playing yesterday morning, and Katie's like, "I'm hungry. Go give me food." And we are always like laugh because we could hear him over the chat thing, and we're just like, "Oh, Jeremy, she can't get herself her own food. Have fun. We're gonna be here playing video games while you go get Katie food because she just didn't feel like leaving the house."
Well, that's the gender roles swapped right there, because he would be the gatherer then.
Yeah, their gender roles is he's just the bitch. That's really the Katie Jeremy relationship. He's the bitch. She's whatever she wants to be.
She's Master Blaster.
Hey, it works, and it's hilarious.
Because Jeremy does have a mind like a child.
Oh, it was Ben Lang asking if I called his wife stupid. Hey, Ben, did she drink the beers? They're good? Huh? They should answer. I may or may not have called Ben Lang's wife stupid on last week's podcast.
You did call her stupid. Yes.
I meant it in a loving way. She seems like a wonderful human being, but she purposely did not drink free New Glarus beer, and that's a pretty stupid thing to do.
Well, it means that next time during Adepticon, maybe I can stay with Ben Lang instead.
Because I can.
You're banned from the house.
See, she drank the beer. She's a brilliant woman who happened to do a stupid thing. And then after she married Ben, she did another stupid thing, which was to not drink New Glarus beers.
Boom.
Boosh! Because Ben.
Naboom.
Naboo?
Naboom.
Naboo.
No, Naboom.
Naboom.
That's
when the Death Star blows up Naboo?
Yeah,
It's a Naboom?
Yeah, it's Baraboo is another interesting like social experiment to watch. No, I'm trying to get back on this like social.
We've moved on.
No, I'm like you guys
Naboo?
can say different versions of boom all you want, but I think like it's
Big bada boom, big bada boom.
Very
Shakalaka.
interesting looking at gaming communities.
Open the door.
I mean, at least through I can only look at it through a War Machine lens right now because that's the one that I look through the most. We have 3 to 4 female players that come to Baraboo. Like they're not usually there all at once, but at least 2 every week. And it's
One of them has a tolerable husband.
yeah, one of them does. Who I don't know. That means Amanda and I aren't married yet, so that doesn't count. But,
Yet. When's the date?
Uh-oh.
Hey, Amanda!
Hey, Amanda!
I like how we're talking about. I always like sometimes we talk about all these things and rights and things. You know, we have the girl outside just sitting downstairs by herself. Like she's not allowed in the room with us. She has to stay out there by herself quietly.
She's entertaining herself because she doesn't want to be part of this shit.
Yeah,
show.
My middle
you put her in the
stepdaughter-
kitchen for a few minutes.
Middle stepdaughter might be getting married out of necessity because her boyfriend's roommate is going to move away and he can't afford the place on his own. So he wants her to move in with him, but she said that she won't live with them unless they get married. So he might have to propose to her just because he can't afford rent on his own.
Economic stability. That's what marriage is all about, right? But no, it's like to watch Baraboo people interact with females in their game normally. Like you think about. I mean, I just am super observant. So like when a new player comes in, I can see that their eyes might get a little wandery and creepy, and I usually try to stomp that out as quickly as I can. But like a lot of other players, they seem to have learned how to treat women like an equal or just like a standard person. So I don't know. It seems like in Madison there just aren't many. There's not a female presence at the store very often.
Yeah, I mean, we lost Katie, and then
Well, that trucker guy took them all.
Yeah, he did. No, we lost Katie, and then like Casey and John don't come all that time because they're Baraboo based, and then again Danielle and Aaron play in Baraboo more than they play in Madison. So we lost a lot of the female players in the Madison area.
Yeah, I think it's wargaming is one of those things where it's harder to find females in general, and I don't feel like what this woman wrote in her article is the standard for wargaming, but when it does happen, it is pretty egregious. Whether it happened or not, it still needs to be paid attention to. I don't think you can dismiss it as saying, well, without proof, I'm not gonna believe a thing she says.
You can't prove verbal.
Well,
I mean, verbal or inappropriate touching, that's something that's very difficult to prove in that regard.
Well, and they say a lot of women don't report anything like that in the first place because they don't think people will believe them, or they're afraid they'll get in trouble or something like that. It's just, I don't think you should be dismissive when someone makes an accusation like that and just say, if you can't prove it didn't happen, then you're kind of devaluing or voiding their experience.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
So it sucks.
does.
Malifaux is a bad game,
Yeah.
and War Machine is better.
No,
Andy's a Guild Ball player now.
I'm not. I'm not a
He
Guild
got
Ball player.
forced into it.
He
did
loves Guild Ball. He
No.
does nothing but play Butchers.
can-
Or Brewers? Butchers. You got
I got
Butchers, right?
Butchers.
You can get Andy to play any game if you give it to him for free. So what I'm going to do is buy a Malifaux starter kit, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to give it to Andy.
I'm tempted to get an
Just because giving me models doesn't mean I play it. I have the butcher box downstairs, not assembled, not
It'll
put together,
happen.
nothing.
I'll get the engineer's box, okay?
Okay,
Because they're terrible, is what I've heard.
okay.
So I'll play them, and then I'll lose a whole bunch, and then I'll say fuck this game, and that'll make sure I never never cave in and play Guild Ball.
What we should do is we should play a battle box game, and where a third party modifies the two battle boxes that causes me to have an exponential bonus in the game, and cause you to immediately lose in it. So then you will never touch the game for like a year.
What I've heard about butchers and engineers, they don't have to modify them.
Okay.
I think it's like Kador versus
Haley, if
Kador versus Crick's battle boxes. You know, where it's
Well,
like
I was thinking of like, the anecdote I'm going to is when Jim and I first played War Machine back in Mark 1. The person that made the Signar battle box took, I think, Haley and two defenders versus Sorsha and a Juggernaut and the normal Kador battle box. And this is black card Haley.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there. We set up, went for our first turn. We both moved our jacks, and then I'm studying my card. I'm like, oh, so I
you mean black card Sorsha.
black card Sorsha.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm like, so I can cast Windrush, and then with 2 more focus, I can cast Windrush again.
And then I can feet and
And
charge
then
him.
I can feet and charge him. And Nori's like, yep. I'm like, a done?
And then Jim didn't play War Machine for
Didn't play
5
War
years.
Machine for like at least, I think it was at least 2 years after that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I love this picture.
Yes.
and
Why is everyone buying me games now? Okay, I'm fine. Yes, I do not want to
Yeah,
learn how to
let
play
me
games.
get on this. I don't like anything. Please
Oh.
send me everything. I'll give it a chance.
My
I really
brother
don't
sent me
like
a message.
Mazdas.
My brother, yes. My brother was at like an estate sale or something, and he's like, "Hey, they have some board games here." I'm like, "Oh, okay. What do they have?" And he said, "Well, here's her husband was apparently a big collector. Here was his Board Game Geek username, and go look up his collection on Board Game Geek, and it's like 600 games, and they're all the greatest games ever." And he's like, "Do you have anything on this list that you want?" And I'm like, "Yes. Just buy me all of them. Like they're fucking amazing." But I don't think Adam would give those to me for free. I'd have to buy them.
Adam, if you want, I'll take them.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
I had like Twilight Struggle and Brass, and I had
I do want to play brass.
I want to play. Yeah, I like Brass. I played Brass once, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I won, and I said I retire undefeated because I do that when I luckily win a game for the first time. And
I did
I'm
that for Notre Dame.
yeah.
No, you would think.
Notre Dame was one of the other games they had that I wanted to get. Like he had, if it's in the top 590 ranked games on Board Game Geek, this guy had them because apparently he was just
And now he's
gung
dead?
ho, and now he's dead. So I won all of his games.
People die.
We won't.
Oh,
We won't. Love will keep us alive forever.
I'm baking on hatred.
No,
Yeah, Crokinole, which they talk about that all the time on Board Game Geek, and I want to buy it. That like puck hockey game.
So you can buy all those games,
hate
Nathan.
that game.
Nathan, you can buy all those games.
Yeah,
I played it.
with my Kickstarter money because
Yeah.
it's not in the PayPal account. Yes, embezzlement.
We'll play videos of them though, so it'll be okay.
You're
Yeah.
just making an investment. You hope by the time that you need to actually purchase those items for the ATC, that the value has increased enough for you to roll them real quick and make more money.
Nice.
But the ugly women equals thing is tough sometimes. Completely non-jokey. Because, like, we have our drives and whatever. Like, Adepticon a few years back, when Hollywood still played the game, he yelled at me one time because there was a girl playing and she was bent over, and if you wanted to, you could look down her shirt, and I wasn't. And he was like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you looking down her shirt? You can see her boobs. And I'm like, you're a weirdo. Why, I have some respect. And then, like, 2 years later, I'm at a tournament and a girl's measuring her control area, and I'm totally just looking down her shirt. I'm like, okay. And I caught myself, and I'm like, oh, my God, I'm a piece of shit.
Well, and this
But it's hard, because, like, I'm attracted to women, right?
It is difficult to break that, but you do have to... At some point, you have to just have a mutual respect for your opponent at some point, right?
Yeah. Well, she wasn't my opponent. I was walking... It was an unrelated game.
He was in the bathroom. He was in the woman's bathroom.
My game was over. I was walking up and down the aisles. I'm being honest here.
An interesting aspect to piggyback off of that one is most male gamers, or war gamers in particular, are not fit people. We are not the type of people that will be in magazines showing off our six-pack.
Generally not.
So depends on the part of the country. Like the Midwest, no. I think when you get to like the West Coast, you have your more fit gamers.
Well, yeah.
It's I'm just saying, just based on environment. The Midwest
is, and the Midwest is the only gaming like area that matters, though, because we have all the best game conventions ever, like War Machine Weekend being the best game convention,
absolutely,
in the world. So,
pretty much no game convention outside the Midwest are worth a damn.
Exactly. I mean, like, if you go out to the East Coast, it's just going to get bombed by tea water, right?
Yeah, if you're not in the Central Time Zone, you're shit.
Exactly. That's like when people ask, I've been talking a lot with the folks from Battle Driven, and they try to tell me these weird times that don't exist, and I get on, and I'm like, I'm ready to talk to you people, but you're not here, because they're not on our time, which is the real time. But to get back at it, I wonder how women would react to very physically fit men playing against them. It'd just be an
with a guy have his shirt on or off. Are you saying?
No, I mean, like, if you go to a guy who like wears this T-shirt size that fits him exactly, instead of someone like me who might have to wear one size too small because I've gained too much weight and don't want to buy more clothes. What their reactions in the game would be like? Would they be staring at that person, or does it matter on a personal level? Because like if men are like programmed in air quotes to just look at the opposite sex in a way of attraction, do you think women would do the same thing in a game?
I think people would, because I mean we're all sexual beings to some extent or another.
When a lady plays Jake Van Meter, is she just all oogly eyed the entire time? Is what you're saying?
And then you also have to kind of move it. Like you'd have to look to a more woman dominated area. Yeah. Like, let me just get full-on sexist just to pick an example, but let's say we have, like, a knitting guild, okay, that's nothing but women, and then Chris Hemsworth joins it, and he's just knitting with his shirt off. Like, of course they're all just going to stare at his abs.
Yeah.
Because...
Isn't that Ghostbusters?
Yeah, there you go. So Ghostbusters. Holy shit, yeah, so Ghostbusters. But I mean,
that was on purpose.
yeah, we'll say that was on purpose, not just that I have a thing for Chris Hemsworth. But, like... we're sexual beings, right? And so, number one, you have an attractive person of the opposite gender, you're going to look at them anyway. And number two, you get that supply and demand thing, right? If 99% of that group is male and there's one female there, the males are going to look at her. Mm-hmm. If there's 99% females and there's one male, the females are going to look at him. It's when it's more 50-50 that you kind of stop caring because, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, when I was a Magic player in the late 90s, early 2000s, if you were a female that was looking for a male companion, and you really you were at the point where your expectations were within somewhat of a realistic category, and you weren't looking for super hot, super rich guy. If you were a female and went to one Magic tournament that was large, pick of the crop, that every single person would be immediately attracted to you because you play Magic. So that supply and demand thing rings true there too. It's really interesting. But also women are I think they're more socialized to not look at men that way too. I mean, other than just currently I think that's a lot different. But if you look at an older woman, in their 30s, 40s, and I'm saying not I'm saying not someone who is in their 20s, which is that
older woman. How old is that old hag in the downstairs? That grizzled Methuselah woman that you're with.
Oh, she's got a knife.
I think she is going to cut you. Amanda's...
Me? You're the one who said older woman.
She's not in her 30s.
How old is she?
She looks at you, Nathan. Oh boy, we gotta go. We gotta stop this podcast now.
30 is young to me.
Unplug us from the internet. Delete
31,
everything.
32?
Tort. Don't tell anyone what just happened today, Tort.
I'm 32.
Right, I just thought Amanda was around the same age.
No, she is not. I robbed that cradle.
You robbed. No, she robbed the grave.
Zappity Grumble, Zappity Grumble, Zappity
Our
Grumble.
relationship was perfectly legal when we first met.
What I think you were going to say is kind of true. Like, women look at men, they have the thoughts just as much. Women are just as sexual as men.
It's not like Sex in the City people are walking around in every female conscious, right? Like, they just don't do that.
I think in their heads they do. I think it's just
Why don't
culturally
we
not
ask a
accepted,
woman
like-
instead of guessing? What do 4 men think a woman thinks?
Let's talk about it. Let's be like the Senate
Hold on.
discussing women's rights.
3 men. I have not said a word throughout this entire conversation.
What I'm going to say is that, like, Playboy is that, oh, sure, men and they look and they like boobs and that's what it's like to be a man. But Playgirl is a joke because, women don't really like to look at a naked man. Like, that's the cultural
According to the
viewing.
pictures I send out, that statement's true.
That's true. They're like, why did you send this to me?
Yeah.
Please
so
stop.
obviously,
This is a monastery.
I'm at Walmart.
But I
You're like, no.
culturally, men ogle women and it's normal. If a woman ogles a man, it's weird, and that's not true. Like,
Well, even their porn, I had heard this once through the grapevine, is that pornography that's geared towards women
All
is
women?
more about the story than it is the actual, physicality of the mechanical sex, right?
But even still, they want an attractive man in it.
They do, but that
And they're
attractive
still
man has to
watching
have
porn.
dialogue, and there has to be, like, a point to the whole thing at the end of it. Like,
Right. But what I'm saying is that even if the porn is different, if a woman is watching porn and masturbating, and a man's watching porn and masturbating, we're still human beings watching porn and masturbating.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. Let's continue. All right. Zappity Grumble. I like
Brian
to
and
admit,
Nathan have been cut off.
I would apologize to everyone for what just happened. Please keep your hate mail.
You guys gonna be good?
There you go. Oh boy.
I thought I was being fair.
Yeah,
You were
we were both, like, being very...
And that's what women like because that's what men have said.
We were being inclusive. I'm trying to
Oh my god.
take perspectives.
So the one thing that you should do is if you have a new player that's in your meta that comes in, you shouldn't oogle them.
Unless it's
Ogle?
Yeah. Well, you should be a little bit more outgoing to new people coming into your meta.
Well, and even in myself though, like I'm a large, heavily tattooed man. When
If I walk in the store, he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "I gotta go."
Exactly. Like, people have so many times been like, "Oh my God, you're a nerd, really?" Like, they walk into my cube at work and they say, "Oh, you don't have pictures of dead cows on the wall." Although I do have Frazetta art, which is kind of the same thing.
You're not
But,
in a Becker gang?
What's that?
You're
no,
not
I'm
in a-
not. I don't own a motorcycle.
I was thinking about decorating my house with nothing but Goya films, like Saturn devouring his children and all those. I thought that would be really classy.
Exactly, it would be, but people would look at you.
That's art.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. It's crazy stuff out there.
I wonder if I could cosplay Saturn devouring his children.
Maybe.
I'd have to be naked.
You'd
Never
have to do
mind.
this. You could, if you want to like really get high level and get some Bill Nye Science Guy stuff going on, you could turn into Shattern again.
Zappity Grumble.
All right.
Zappity.
All right. Which Animaniacs character are you?
Pinky and the Brain were Animaniacs, technically, weren't they? They were part of that same cartoon series.
Yes. Buttons chases many. I'll read the thing.
Yeah,
good
I'll
feathers
take
flock
Brain,
together.
sure.
Read things reverse. Buttons. I don't remember.
Dee Dee and
There's the squirrel, right? And then there's I'll be her. The squirrel, the angry old squirrel.
That'll be Mickey.
What was her fucking name?
I have no
Yakko,
idea.
Wacko, and Dot.
That's the
Those were
Animaniacs. That's the Animaniacs, but they had the good feathers on there, and then they had Pinky and the Brain, and then they had Rita and Runt, which was the cat and the dog, and then there was Buttons and Mindy, which was the little girl who'd get in trouble and Buttons had to rescue her, and then there was the two hippos, and there was that fucking squirrel who would hit people because she was always angry and crotchety and old. It was like all of the Golden Girls in one squirrel. My phone's outside. I can't Google Animaniac Squirrel, and this is going to drive me insane.
I'll do it for you.
All right,
But I was her.
all right.
What are
I
you?
don't know. He said brain.
I already got it. Slappy squirrel.
Slappy Squirrel. I'd be
Slappy
Slappy Squirrel.
Thanks, Tort.
I'm an octogenarian woman.
I would probably be Wacko.
By the way, Amanda did say that she has many feelings towards our topic, and we were all wrong.
And she's the only woman in the building. She's correct.
Yep.
We're gonna go with what she said.
We should have brought her up.
She can't be
I don't
right.
think
She's a
we
woman.
would have walked out of this room alive, to tell you the truth.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I didn't say a damn word. I feel
You
pretty
could've-
goddamn
you could've
safe.
stopped it.
You do have
did-
testosterone flowing through your system. You would die.
No, that'd be
Guilt-
fine.
yep.
That'd be fine.
Okay. As long as you got to watch us get murdered and maimed,
Yeah,
right?
that's fine.
I'm interested to see how wrong we are because I thought we were being very supportive towards women.
Yeah, I know. I was at least trying to go from an altruistic perspective.
You were being very polite, telling her how she should handle her uterus.
No, she can do whatever she wants with it.
No, that was my point.
Jesus Christ.
I'm Slappy Squirrel, who's a woman, see? I'm supportive.
Transgendered.
No, she was a straight up woman.
No,
So-
but you would be.
I'm
Here's
also trans species.
Yeah,
kind
you would
of
be.
an interesting question, and I kind of interested by it. Is the prolonged 2015 steamroller having any negative effects on the War Machine community?
Yes and no, I think, and I have a lot of because I like to look at the social situation and economic situation of War Machine and its continuity, and I think that everybody just likes the people who are playing War Machine right now are still liking it. It's still the same game. The scenarios don't matter so much, but I think what we're hoping for is a really big shakeup to make the game feel a lot different and validate other casters that are somewhat invalidated because they can't play in certain scenarios. And I feel like some of because you can't call it anything else other than stagnancy of where the steamroller packet is at, could be one of the very big reasons why Guild Ball has seen such success in areas where it's been accessible. Like with Adepticon, I think Madison's Guild Ball community doubled in size just because they were there for it.
I'm not what part of that community.
You own a Guild Ball army.
Yep. You're in the community.
Well, I think it's kind of undeniable that there's some stagnancy in War Machine right now, but it's a matter of the standard year-end doldrums came around. You know, I mean, how much of it is that? How much of it is the armor SKU hasn't been shaken up? How much of it is waiting for new
We haven't
book?
had our yearly TempleCon.
We haven't had
Everything is-
TempleCon
and
thing.
people are. I think Privateer Press needs to make a pretty big announcement because people are expecting a big announcement, and I keep hearing all this rumblings. People are. Every person I talk to, not one person has any shredded proof, but every single person I know is expecting Mark 2.5 or 3, and it's spreading around the internet. That I think even if they have a great idea and it's lackluster and it's not like a 2.5 or a 3, people are going to be disappointed.
I think that's a lot. I agree
And
with you
that
completely.
may not even be fair, but now the level people are wanting a 2.5/3.0 type announcement.
Yeah, they're
and
like,
load.
why would they wait this long to tell us all this stuff? They have to be planning something big.
Yeah.
When in reality, they might have their thumb up their ass and are just like, let's make some new casters.
And it would make sense because when they announced like a 3 or 2.5, when they went from 1 to 2, there was definitely a sales lump. Everything kind of slowed down for it. There's a
Last
few
Square
months.
stopped carrying entirely because they thought War Machine was dead because
Yeah.
of that slump, and we all descend like vultures because they put their entire stock at 50% off.
Yeah. And then like 2 months later, I hit, and then every store had 30 people at event every month after month.
By the way, I have incredibly strong feelings about what Tau Beast asked, so we need to make sure we get to that question.
All right.
Well, that is the next question.
Oh, okay.
you
Well,
wanna
we don't
ask
have
it?
to jump there yet. We can keep talking about this. It's a good topic. I just want to make sure we don't lose that.
Well, and the other thing too, like to kick off, since you mentioned discounts, with them putting the axe to online sales, that's another
Online
thing.
discounts.
Yeah, online discounts. It's not online sales, just discounts at the deep level. That also really put a lot of people on a disappointing level. They were disappointed with that decision.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
But there was
a dissenting opinion towards Privateer Press based on that decision. So they've already got people rolling away from it just because of that. So if they really, I think that Lock and Load has got to blow the doors off the barn, because if it doesn't, it really could mean a lot. A lot of bad is coming towards Privateer Press in the terms of like people talking about the gamer voting with their wallet or getting out of it.
So it's
Zappity. Yep. Grumble. All right. What is the best way to make a grilled cheese? Do you put bacon on it, or is it pimento cheese okay?
I take simple generic white bread, some American cheese, and I grill it.
Do you butter the bread?
You butter the bread on the outside, obviously.
Yep.
Sure.
So there's 2 slices of cheese on the inside. And
Choose a
then,
good number of slices.
Yeah, that's
do you take one slice and tear it in half? Because then you put a solid slice in a corner, and then you can take the 2 halves to go around the right edge and the bottom edge, and you just put them both in the middle.
Just 2 slices
and hope they
on
melt
there.
out.
I used to do. I started switching to more fancier cheeses, but I've disliked it all. I need to go with the generic American cheap cheese.
I tried to make a grilled cheese once that was fancy, and it just didn't quite do it for me. Like, I do like using Texas toast instead of because I just like thicker bread with a grilled cheese just works better for me.
I use ham.
I don't put any meat in my grilled cheese. It is always just Kraft American cheese.
You take your favorite flavor of Spam.
Throw it away.
You slice it nice and thin. You fry it up nice and crispy on your griddle. Then you put it to the side, and now you have that Spam fat on the griddle there. So you don't even need to butter your bread. You can toast the you can toast the bread on there, and you put a slice of cheese on each.
I love the butter though.
You put a slice of cheese on each, and then you put your Spam on one of them, and then you flip the other one on top, and there's your goodness.
No one but you likes Spam.
Grilled Spam and cheese sandwiches where you toast them and fry the sandwich on the oil from the Spam.
I could maybe do bologna.
Oh man, no. The grilled Spam and cheese sandwich. I will make these for you sometime. You will love them.
Spam. I had Spam when I was 10. It's still in my stomach.
You were wrong. Spam is God's gift. You pan fry the Spam on your. I use an electric griddle.
Are you
do the Spam
Hawaiian?
on the electric griddle?
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Are you
this sounds
state
like
food
a
Hawaii?
Hawaiian grilled cheese sandwich.
We could do a podcast of my top 10 favorite flavors of Spam because they're all good.
It's another reason. No, I grew up
I like
poor.
black
but
pepper Spam.
Poor people and their Spam.
So good. Spam's luxury food. Spam's not that cheap, actually. I think it costs more than just buying a ham.
Every type of food that comes in like those pop top cans, I can't eat. I don't do sardines.
If it's meat and it's on a shelf and it's not frozen, you know there's a problem with it.
So good.
Unless it's like summer sausage or something kind of like encased. Nice and what?
We have Nick who agrees completely with Nathan. Gave him a +1, but instead have Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip is amazing.
I did the Spam and cheese, but I would butter the bread too because that's the classic way to do it. But then one time I was out of butter, and so out of desperation, I just left the grease on the griddle, and it worked great.
I just sometimes eat butter though, so I like butter a lot.
Sure, just plain white bread with butter spread on it.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
When I was
plenty
a kid,
of times.
When I was a kid, I heard about like in
Yeah.
prison they had nothing but bread to eat, and I'm like, that sounds great. I'll just eat white bread just all day.
If it's late at night and I don't want to make food, I'll just throw some butter on the bread and eat that.
Yeah,
It's fresh bread,
butter
especially.
sandwich is just fine.
Oh yeah, especially fresh bread and butter. Oh, that's good shit.
I will say, though, there is one thing about having a grilled cheese sandwich with tomato soup.
Oh,
See,
sure.
I never was a
You
tomato
cut it
soup guy.
diagonal.
Never done it.
So I could dip it.
I've never
it's
had-
actually really goddamn good.
I've never had tomato soup.
My common side item to grilled cheese is regular potato chips.
For some reason, everybody at Adepticon was trying to get me to drink Bloody Marys, and they're fucking terrible.
They're not.
They're not too bad.
You'll make us. How about this? We'll have a day. You'll make us some Spam, grilled cheese and ham. I'll make us some eggs and crackers. We'll have a podcast and a kid.
This is Iron Chef.
Yeah, well, Iron Chef with us. We'll
Not
do it.
iron fucking stomach either.
Yeah, but no, we'll all make a food. We'll do it. We'll podcast from the kitchen because again, the eggs and crackers has a very short shelf life, so we need to make it then eat it. You can't let it sit.
Could that be like a collaboration with Katie's food channel?
Katie's Corner?
Yeah, we'll cross over. We'll podcast from Katie's Corner. You'll be making. We'll make our foods. We'll eat it. We'll see how long we last.
I'll do it with classic Spam, although bacon Spam and black pepper Spam are really good. Torch should appreciate black pepper Spam. Originally, it was only available in Australia, but they recently started selling it in stores
I would
in America.
try bacon Spam.
Because they didn't sell in Australia. They just brought it over here.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a food out there
There's
that I
Spam
make
with
that
cheese
is
already in it.
subjectively bad. I was gonna say I make a pretty good brisket.
More questions from
Zappity.
them?
Zappity. There is one more. Hawaiian pizza, ham, cheese, and pineapple. God's gift to mankind or abomination that must be destroyed?
God's gift.
It really depends on if they've strained the pineapple before they
Oh,
put it on.
sure.
Because if
Oh.
you get it soggy, it's terrible. If you've ever had a Hawaiian pizza that's with the pineapple, that the juice gets all up in there while it's cooking. It's fucking terrible.
When judging food, I always assume we're judging a competently made version
Yeah.
of it, in which case Hawaiian pizza is amazing.
It's pretty decent, yeah.
I just don't like pineapple except for that one scenario.
It is not something that I would eat regularly.
I like how you disguised it as a scenario that you like pineapple.
If it's made from samba,
Yeah.
I will say ham with a little pineapple juice on. I don't mind. Like if it's
Pineapple
I
upside down
thought
cake?
you were going to go with the whole pineapple makes your semen not taste bad.
Why would he care how his semen Never mind.
The other part.
I don't give away. I don't have a questionnaire at the end. Was the semen acceptable? I don't answer the question. Please rate the CL. Was it too tangy? Was on a scale of thickness? Was it too chunky?
Well, no, it's like it's either you eat a lot of garlic and your Friday night sucks, right? Or
hopefully
you
you're
drink a
sucking
ton of
going on.
pineapple juice and it's okay.
Jesus Christ. It's like, would you have some time to fill out a small survey for me, please?
Why is there 20 questions about semen?
But recently, I have discovered that you can substitute the pineapple with and this isn't recently. I've talked about this multiple times now, but the sauerkraut is a shockingly good substitute
For nothing in the world.
because it brings
Sauerkraut.
that sweetness that the pineapple brings.
If there-
So a pizza, you like no pizza place will do it for you. You have to do it yourself, or you go to Papa Murphy's and then you bring it home and add your sauerkraut before you bake it. But again, like Brian said, you have to properly drain it so your pizza doesn't get all soggy. But sauerkraut on pizza is my new favorite.
I think the only thing that you can consider sauerkraut being a good substitute for is if you're wanting to throw rotten vegetables at someone
In a
as
pillory.
they are walking through to the gallows. Sauerkraut will work for you there.
Sauerkraut is the only thing worse that Germany has than the concentration camps. That's how bad sauerkraut is.
I think I like sauerkraut more.
Zappity!
Recommendations.
Yeah, we're down to
Please,
recommendations.
if you've
We're
reached,
done.
here's a recommendation. If you listen to this podcast, don't. Somehow forget everything you've heard. I apologize.
Oh man, Spam and cheese sandwiches with SpaghettiOs and Doritos. Nick's, that's good shit, man.
Someone posted a corn dog with something like they put corn chips on, like Frito corn chips. I had it was like a chili dog with corn chips on them.
Oh, you put Fritos on your chili dog?
Yeah,
Sure.
I believe it because Fritos have they're so salty. They're such good
Yeah, they
salty
are
chips.
salty.
I can see them being fitting on a lot of things.
Fritos on with
put 'em-
chili are really good.
I put them
get a
in
good chili
Sloppy
dip.
Joe's a couple weeks ago. We made Sloppy Joe's and I had Fritos on the side, and then I just took the bun off and put a handful of Fritos in the sandwich, and it was pretty damn
I
good.
can see putting them on almost. I would try those on almost anything.
I do put Fritos in my burritos, and that's pretty good.
Well, you can also do the walk and taco and just bump a bunch of stuff in the Frito bag.
You can. The burrito is just a better vehicle.
Yeah, Frito pie. That's what Todd
I did see somebody deep fried mozzarella sticks, but instead of using regular breading, they used Doritos.
Yeah, crushed
It
Doritos.
just doesn't seem like it's.
I saw a
Good.
video online where somebody made Dorito ceviche. Like they took Doritos and they soaked them, and then they strained them out, and so the Dorito oil, it became the water that was infused with Dorito essence to use as a broth for soups and stuff. It's like, holy shit, you neckbeard.
Is that-
just eat the Doritos.
Did you see that on thisiswhyyourfat.com?
It was basically it was like one of those tasty videos, you know.
Because that site is the best. Go to it.
This is why you're
your
fat.
That's my recommendation. Go to thisiswhyyourfat.com.
I saw a tasty video, but it was done by Donald. It was like a Donald Trump spoof. They had little tiny hands making
Oh, yeah.
making the Trump steaks.
Caress the steak.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. What's your recommendation, Nathan?
So the Battleborn free beta came out for PlayStation 4. So
I played that.
it's free. Literally 100% free.
Until the game comes out, it's a week or so of a beta. How long? How
It's a
long?
little longer than that.
The beta.
Yeah, well, because the beta comes to the PC and the Xbox next week, and it's going to go for a while after that. I think the game comes out in May or June or something.
Some of those games do free beta weekends, and it's literally just a weekend. Others, you can play it for more than a week.
Oh, don't go to thisiswhyyourfat.com. It doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, no. Or maybe you just spelled it wrong.
Thisiswhyyourfat.com.
Youre or Y-O-U-R-E?
W. You forgot the W.
Y-O-R-E. Y-O-U-R. But no, the Battleborn beta, I don't know how long it's going. I would Google it, but my phone's in the car. But it's free, and you can play with me. And I'm excited about Battleborn because It's got the two. At first, I was less excited about it until I found out about the thing. Because it's an online multiplayer game similar to a MOBA, but not technically a MOBA, as pedantic shitheads explained to me earlier today. But it's a multiplayer online battle game where you fight against other people in first persons, and as opposed to the overhead view like most of those are. It is kind of MOBA-esque because it does have the minion advancing lines in at least one of the game things.
That's basically what a MOBA is.
It's a first-person MOBA.
So it is a MOBA!
No, that
Battleborn
is a
Oh,
MOBA.
Battleborn's a MOBA. Overwatch isn't a
Overwatch is
MOBA.
not.
Okay, fine. But so Battleborn, it's a MOBA in first person, which is cool. But what I do really, really like about it, and maybe Overwatch is going to be great, and I'm not going to badmouth Overwatch, but what I like just first impressions about Battleborn versus Overwatch is that Battleborn has the second play mode, which is story/raid mode against bosses, PC AI controlled, not just AI controlled MOBA style. So you get the fun of MOBA, but you also get the fun of like MMO raid bosses.
Correct.
And those are both cool things, and I like that one game can scratch both those itches depending on what
And
you
it's
feel like doing.
Gearbox, so it's going to have some good written stuff.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious! Like Jeff, the robot who wishes he was the Lord of all spiders, and that guy's
Correct.
great. And
Yes.
it's fun. Like the dialogue's great.
It is very cool. All the characters are really neat looking in some way or another.
Yep.
It's just odd that there's a lot of these stylized games coming out at the same time.
Yeah.
With Overwatch, they have this.
Battleborn.
There is another one that I think that Epic is making right now.
That's why it happened. I mean, it's just like Dante's Peak versus Volcano, or Deep Big Cap versus
Correct.
Armageddon. Like things always come out at the same time.
Correct.
I agree.
But yeah.
I would love to play it. I told Nathan off air I can't play it only because I have reached
You're on the
peak
Division.
capacity. Well, I'm playing the Division for my game. I'm out of hours of the day to game.
Stop sleeping.
It's
and work.
I've reduced
Quit
my
work.
sleep a little. Well, the work thing. I took a half day on Tuesday.
Already this Tuesday coming up?
But I'm Asphyxious on PlayStation Network. Asphyxious. Anyone watching this should know how to spell that.
Major Tusk.
No, I'm Asphyxious.
I'm Major Tusk.
Yes.
I am Big Easy. I play the
Aren't you
Division.
like Big Easy 42 or
Just
something?
Big Easy.
Just Big Easy on
Just Big
PlayStation?
Easy. Just Big Easy.
And what are you?
Vox player, VOX player.
All one word?
All one word.
And what's Amanda? What are you, Amanda?
Rox Player 2. She doesn't.
She's I don't remember.
I think she's Mother Doomsday, I think.
Oh, is that her?
I'm not friends with her.
I think I'm
I
friends
am.
with the Mother Doomsday, so maybe that's her.
Amanda's Mother's Doomsday.
Most of those people I got the real name requests, though, so I don't remember what their handles are. But the
Correct.
point is, me at least, I don't know if Andy's going to start playing again. You said you're not. You're a maybe. But fucking download Battleborn. Play Battleborn with me. Let's have some good times.
Well, you have to buy it like in a week or two.
Well, for now, we'll play it for free, and maybe I'll buy it when it comes out.
I still
But-
wish Vermintide came out on the PS4.
yeah.
My recommendation is Banshee. The final season has started. It's on Cinemax. It's so violent and gory and violent. It's beautiful. It's like it's artwork. It's art of the violence. No one does violence better than Banshee.
I saw that chick get her throat torn out by a hood ornament.
Oh, it's so good.
I was rooting for her to win that fight, too.
That's an amazing fight. She fought well. Burton took off his glasses, and when Burton takes off his glasses, the only option is to run fucking away. And
Yeah.
man, that's like Hulk Hogan tearing his shirt off. When Burton's glasses come off, just fucking go. I don't care what. I don't care how many bullets you've put in him. I don't care the scenario of what's happening. You leave. Burton will win that fight.
I'm saddened because I'll have to watch it on streaming from my television, from my laptop to my television. But I did not watch all of last season, so I have to catch up on all of last season.
I also recommend Andy subscribe to Stars for 1 fucking month so we can watch all of Ash vs. Evil Dead. It's so good, and you haven't watched it. And
I watched like the first like 3 episodes when they had them online.
Okay.
But I've been honestly waiting for them to come out on like a Blu-ray as a season collection because I'll just buy it. I mean that's one that I would like to have.
You got to make Jim watch it, the whole entire thing. He'll hate all of it. It'll be so good.
The weird thing is, though, things that we think that Jim will absolutely hate, he sometimes really likes.
Well, you can't tell Jim something's good. If you really love something and you want Jim to like it, you can't give him any inclination. You can't let him know you like it.
Correct.
You got to go, oh, what's this thing? Oh, what's this other? Let's give this a chance. And then he can respond, and then you can go, yeah, suck it. I like it too.
I bet you if we didn't tell Jim anything about John Wick and we just watched it, he would have loved it.
Absolutely.
So I recommend if you want to tell Jim anything, make sure you treat Jim like that. You have to pretend.
Just don't tell Jim anything.
Yes.
Treat it doesn't exist until you watch it.
And watch Banshee. If you like cool TV shows that are a little over the top and have action and fighting. It does more like it's more like of a fist fighting than it is gunplay. There's a lot of gunplay in it, but it's more about like melee combat than it is.
Also, in
melee
fairness,
fighting.
lots of boobs too.
Oh yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say, and there happens to be some nudity and sex of all types. They're very generous. It's like Spartacus. You see everything all the time. It's not
On the lawn.
On the grass.
Yeah, exactly. It's so good. It's only this is the last season. I almost buy nothing on Blu-ray anymore. I'm pretty much at the point where I buy everything via Amazon. I've decided to go full online for my products, but I'm still going to buy that in Blu-ray just because it's the kind of show I want to be able to borrow to people. I actually have some for Nathan too.
Yay!
Not with me though. After the first game of Rebellion, I give you that.
Yeah.
Brian?
For my recommendation, I've been getting into Vallejo's new line of metal colors for paint, and I think some of the things that people have a lot of issues with are painting metal the way they want to, or to make it look real-ish, where you instead of getting like that 1980s glitter metal. And the pigment is really fine in this stuff. It doesn't blend the greatest, but there's so many colors that are specifically meant to step to the next one that you can get some really nice transitions with a really easy technique. I think they're great. The price tag's a little rough on them, but they are pretty large bottles. So for $8, you get some pretty legit metal.
And metal is sometimes like hard. It seems to be the hardest paint to get decent.
It is like, especially when you try to thin it, because for some reason the binder in there that holds the pigment together, just as soon as you thin it, it disperses like crazy, and you can sit there and watch your metal just like pool around in swirls as all the pigmentation in it separates from the carrier.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess there's something physically different about metal paints versus just colored paints.
Yeah.
Like I know that like
The pigments.
printing, you cannot print like silver. It's impossible to print silver because the shine and the hue of it isn't something that you can get just from color, from ink, from toner. You can only do really light gray and go, yeah, well, that's silver if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's same with like gold. You can do like an orangey, yellow, brown thing, and that you all know is supposed to be gold, but you can't get gold in ink or toner. And I guess it's kind of very, very similar with paint. They don't just have the color; they have to actually have that whatever that extra thing that gives the shimmer that's in it.
That's it, with the pigment. The pigment cells. They're in metallics. They're much thicker than they are in the other colors. So like your green, it's much larger, and that's why it separates easier. It's sometimes difficult to paint.
Well, and Vallejo too had made, I think, their liquid gold line, which actually had metal in it. I bounced off of that train as soon as it started to oxidize on me because I didn't want to have to worry about it anymore. My paint turned green.
Oh,
so it's some legit stuff. If you're looking for metal that looks more realistic on your models, it's definitely something to check out. You won't be disappointed.
Brian, can you, when we post the forum thing, can you post the link to those paints?
Yeah.
All right.
I just see groin sauce in all capital letters there, so I was just confused by that. I was trying to get context, but I decided I don't need context. Fuck it.
Pineapple juice.
All right. That's it.
That's all I got.
That's it.
I'm done.
Goodbye, everybody.
So they tracked. They had Fantasy Flight people like reports their games for Star Wars, like who was recruited the most, what plans were destroyed the most, win ratio, and where people hid their base. It was kind of a neat little thing they posted.
We're still recording. Still broadcasting.
Bye.